J.K. Rowling originally wanted to make Harry visit all 4 Hogwarts House Common Room, but couldn't think of a valid reason to visit the Hufflepuff Common Room. If you were Rowling, what valid situation would you make where Harry had to visit the Hufflepuff Common Room? Why? To pay his respects to Cedric. Hey Harry, wanna see the Hufflepuff Common Room? Boy would I. The end of it. Harry, wow, this was pretty great, well, see you later. And we never find out what happens in between tongue. The next scene is Harry saying by Merlin's beard, "How is it legal to keep that much of it in your common room?" Everyone shrugs and Harry vows to never speak of whatever it was again. Flu powder. If you smoke it, your brain teleports around the universe and back. That's why Hufflepuffs are so chill, high as balls. I mean, it's in the name, right? Hufflepuff Puff Pass. It's next to the kitchens. Food. Most obvious solution of all time. I'm pretty sure Harry visits the kitchens. That's where he finds out that Dobby works at Hogwarts after being released from service to the Malfoy family. I went to a boarding school too, sadly, mine didn't teach magic, and over time I made a point of visiting each of the other dorms just to see what they looked like. It seems improbable that over the course of 7 years Harry wouldn't ever be curious to see what kind of setup the Hufflepuffs had, too. Step away from all the stress and drama in the 5th book, and just, hang out and chill for a few hours, you know? Bet wizards have crazy weed, edit, muggles please legalize it. Why do you think Neville got so good at herbology? That would explain his real-life transformation. Book 4 Cedric, hey Harry. That next tournament round sounds real tough. Wanna come over and brainstorm some ideas? Heck, instead of having the prefect's bathroom be in some random room in the middle of the castle, have Cedric sneak him into the Hufflepuff prefect's bathroom in the Hufflepuff common room. Note, common room prefect's bathroom do not exist, I just think they should. This is the answer. It would also make more sense he runs into Snape on patrol as the Huff CR is in the basements as well. Next to the kitchen as a Huff, I would befriend the elves and get some snacks. I feel like that's what all the Puffs do. Damn right. Mama Sprout didn't raise no fools. Sprout was definitely the most chill. Like she didn't give a shit what they did as long as they didn't get caught, and she definitely told them how to get into the kitchen. Episodic Dark Lord Snape asshole prefect chasing him in the corridor. He reaches a dead end. Suddenly an arm reaches out to grab him into the Hufflepuff common room. He's rescued by, insert notable Hufflepuff student here. A girl with delusions of banging the boy who lived. Probably one of the most unrealistic aspects of the books. No teenager has ever handled fame so well, particularly with a personal history of extensive neglect and lack of affection. Book 6 should have basically been subtitled Harry Potter and the Waist-Deep Poon Puddle. Harry does Hogwarts. Followed quick by Harry gets Hogwarts. To look for clues for a Horcrux makes the most sense. Helga Hufflepuff's cup was kept in the Lestrange bank vault, and destroyed off-screen in the books. Any item could have been in there. It feels like JKR just wanted a bank heist in the book. Or, just, for the hell of it. Hey Ron, I've been in every common room but Hufflepuff's, wanna check it out? Well, I'll admit I was on the edge of my seat for the entire Gringotts scene, even upon rereadings, and without it, we wouldn't have had one of the most fun scenes in the books. Emo, well, I don't know how to break this to you, said Ron, but I think they might have noticed we broke into Gringotts. I think maybe when he went to go tell Cedric about the dragons he could have visited the Hufflepuff common room. To look for a Horcrux. To try and find and talk to Cedric in Book 4. Cedric was never alone and he had to ask him for a word while the whole school was talking crap about Harry. Or maybe he could have just gone in because he was curious. Edit, spelling. Going there because you are curious is legitimate in the real world, but not in fiction. Everything in a move book should have a reason for being there. If there is no reason, it shouldn't be there. Curiosity doesn't count as it's not tied to the plot. We never see them go to the bathroom, except when it's relevant to the plot. Chekhov's gun, essentially. Details mentioned should either be directly relevant for world building or plot. Scenes should progress the story, characters, or world. If Harry went somewhere, there had to be some reason for it. Let's just imagine one, bonding with Cedric. Curiosity can be the driving character-based force, but story-wise there are 100 reasons why it would be mentioned. Scenes should progress the story, characters, or world. I think this is something people don't notice until it's missing. Me and my friends do shit movies night occasionally. The main questions we have with bad movies is what the duck is going on? What was that scene about? Or why are they doing this again? These are all clear signs that the movie hasn't properly explained why scenes are happening. Or, even worse, scenes are happening for no real reason and so there are no answers to those questions. And as you said, curiosity isn't a valid reason when it comes to fiction. Hufflepuff has the dankest weed and Harry wanted to get high, so Harry visited the Hufflepuff room and huffed and puffed the best weed in all of Hogwarts. Hufflepuff Puff Pass. To find Justin Finch-Fletchley to apologize to him, when he thought Harry had set a snake on him to find out if he's okay after being petrified. Yeah, good idea. Hey Justin, you know how you think I almost killed you? Well, surprise bitch, I'm in your common room and I forgive you for being a little bitch. Are we gonna have a problem? He slowly said, while looming over Justin's bed in the dead of the night. Breathing heavily, he whipped out his wand. Because he was being a nosy bastard, does Rowling not recall what it was like to be a curious school kid? Rowling really undersold the hard-working nature of Hufflepuff. If anything, they should have been the workhorses of Dumbledore's army, manufacturing various items of attack and defense to aid the cause. Could have had them give Harry a tour of their high school war factory. To give a tribute to Cedric. Like, he and the Hufflepuffs become really good friends after. Or to make it clear he believes Cedric is the real Hogwarts champion, and he didn't enter the tournament willingly. Hopefully he gets the sentence out before they slaughter him. Hufflepuffs can be intense, after all, he is a Gryffindor. They always step right into the lion's den. Someone dares him to go in. Kids are always daring other kids to do things, so it's pretty reasonable to think that would have happened. Ron, hey Harry, I dare you to go into the Hufflepuff common room. Harry, nah, that's silly Ron. Ron, I triple double dog dare you. Harry, well, okay then. Simple, girls. He's a teenager and a famous person. No more reasons needed. Teenager, rich, famous, genius wizard, star athlete, homies with the staff so he gets away with everything etc. All those years at Hogwarts and barely kisses a girl. He got more action from a bathroom ghost. But then again the nerd had an invisibility cloak and used it to read more. Well, I get the problem of Rowling to not have anything like groupies or sex in her books. It's still a teenager saga, more or less. But on the other hand this wouldn't been necessary. We all were fine with dating and kissing, so why not meet some girls? Or, like you mentioned, have a Quidditch meeting at the rooms or something like this? Even I would have plenty of ideas to give him reasons to get into this rooms. I was just making fun, they're kids' books. An ancient sorcerer, believed to be long dead, Palpatine, was alive again for some reason, and living there. Maybe it could be a hideout for a bunch of people who gave up fighting during the Battle of Hogwarts. Or where they take the wounded. Have him visit the Ravenclaw common room to see Cho Chang in Book 5. Then switch the cup and tiara Horcruxes in Book 7 so that he needs to investigate the Hufflepuff common room instead of Ravenclaw. Or hell, just at the end of Book 4, Harry went to go leave a wreath at the entrance of the Hufflepuff common room in honor of Cedric, and was invited in to give his respects. It was a pretty okay common room. Have him actually make friends outside of his house who he chose to hang out with in his off time. I'm sure more people would be hanging out in other people's common rooms than were depicted in the books. I'm pretty sure they weren't allowed in the common rooms of other houses though. They're right near the kitchens. Why not visit for the food? Because Ron should have been placed into Hufflepuff, and Hermione should have been Ravenclaw. I think having their friendships transcend house boundaries would have made their relationships much more interesting and nuanced.